Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, let's do a head-to-head comparison between 2021 Trek Emonda SL7 and Cannondale SuperSix EVO Carbon Disc Ultegra Di2. I mean, as you already see, Cannondale is winning just by the mouthful of bike names. But jokes aside, so this head-to-head comparison, I'm gonna divide it into few main categories, such as the price, who is this bike for, we're gonna talk about the frame and the fork, about the warranty, about the group set, and a few other categories, and then at the end I will give you my opinion. If it's my money, which bike would I go for. But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and hit that little bell icon because it's gonna help in growing the channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, then definitely thank you. So, Emonda SL7 versus Cannondale SuperSix EVO. So let's kick off with the price of these bikes. So Trek Emonda SL7 retail price $5,500, and when we speak about the Cannondale SuperSix EVO, it's gonna be $5,775. I think it's fair to speak about the retail prices for now, just because, as you know, you should always negotiate the bike prices, and this will definitely differ if you get any kind of discounts on these bikes, what will be the ultimate bike price. But for now, we'll talk about the retail prices. So as you see at the beginning, the Trek is a little bit cheaper, $5,500 versus $5,775. Now let's answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, Trek Emonda lineup is all about light, stiff climbing machines, and the same thing can be said for the Cannondale SuperSix EVO platform. So both of these bikes are light, stiff climbing machines, and of course they have a bit of aerodynamically optimized frames and the forks, but you know, this is not the main point of these bikes. So if you are interested in, spending most of your days attacking the steep mountains, or you just like these light and stiff bikes, then definitely you should consider these two bikes. When we talk about the paint scheme on these bikes, kicking off with the Cannondale, there is only one paint scheme to choose from. They call it Mercury, so kind of a metallic silver with a hint of black. It's a decent, nice paint scheme. And when we talk about the Trek Emonda, there's also only one paint scheme, which is this metallic red with a hint of black. I truly believe that both manufacturers should have offered at least another paint scheme, because make no mistake, these are not cheap bikes, because they are, $5,000 plus US retail price. So this is a bit of negative thing with both of these bikes, that there is only one paint scheme to choose from. Now we can talk about the frame and the fork with each of these bikes, and I will kick off with the Trek Emonda SL7. So the frame is a carbon fiber frame, 500 series OCLV carbon fiber frame, with the internal cable routing, with the flat mount disc brakes, and also 12mm through axles, both front and the back. And the fork on this Trek is again full carbon fork with the tapered carbon steerer, 12mm through axle, and of course internal brake routing and the flat mount disc brakes. Everything superb, I have no special complaints here. Just keep in mind that this frame, 500 series OCLV, is not the top of the line creme de la creme that Trek can do. They also have their special line of 800 series OCLV. Keep in mind that also for the Trek, the frame and the fork come with a lifetime warranty for the original owner. Now let's see about the Cannondale SuperSix EVO. What do you get here for your hard-earned money? So when we speak about the frame set, so the frame and the fork, this is a ballistic carbon fiber frame with, of course, internal cable routing, 12mm through axles front and the back, flat mount disc brakes, and this frame is with the Cannondale's press fit PF30A bottom bracket, and also it incorporates the Cannondale's save technology. So this save technology, it's a bit of optimizing the carbon fibers and the layup to give you a bit more comfort. Speaking about the fork on Cannondale, again carbon fiber ballistic fork with the save technology, 12mm through axle, flat mount disc brakes. There's no special complaints here from me when it comes to this frame and the fork. Again, keep in mind that Cannondale offers you a lifetime warranty on their frames and the forks, again for the original owner. And also, this ballistic carbon with Cannondale is not creme de la creme that Cannondale can do. They have one level above, which is their high mod carbon fibers, frames and the forks. Now we can talk about the wheels and the tires on these bikes, and I can kick off with the Trek Emonda. So with the Trek Emonda you are getting a Bontrager Aeolus Pro 37 wheelset. So this Bontrager Aeolus Pro 37 wheelset is a carbon fiber wheelset, so OCLV carbon fiber wheelset, 37mm rim height, which is tubeless ready, and 21mm inner width, and it has a DT Swiss Aerolite spokes and also DT Swiss nipples. 24 spokes at the front, 24 spokes at the back. This is of course for the center lock disc brakes and 12mm through axles, and the good thing here is that it comes with the DT Swiss 350 hubs with this 18-point engagement. Absolutely superb wheelset, carbon fiber wheelset, warranted for life. And when you look at the total weight of this wheelset, let me just briefly double check this. So the front wheel is 685 grams and the rear wheel is 820 grams. So in total this is gonna be approximately, let's call it 1700 grams for this carbon fiber wheelset. Very competitive wheelset weight and a very good choice of a wheelset. And also this wheelset on Trek Emonda is wrapped in the Bontrager R2 hardcase tire, and this is a 25C tire. So here just a little comment from me that I wish that Trek has included a 28mm tire, just because more air volume and more smoother ride. But generally no complaints about this carbon fiber wheelset on Trek, and a very competitive weight of the wheelset. Now let's check the Cannondale. What do you get with Cannondale and the wheelset on Cannondale? So the wheelset on Cannondale is a combination of carbon fiber hologram 45 rims. So these are 45mm deep rim, carbon fiber rim, 21mm inner width, again tubeless ready. But the hubs on this wheelset are formula hubs, and of course this wheelset is with 12mm through axles, both front and the back, and the spokes are hologram spokes. This wheelset is wrapped in the Vittoria Rubinho Pro tires. These are 25C tires, and again I wish that Cannondale here has included a 28mm tire, just because again more air volume and a smoother ride. But this is something in the future that you can change on both of the bikes if you really want. This hologram wheelset with Cannondale, this is the Cannondale's own production, but as I say, this is a combination of a carbon fiber rims and formula hubs. So these formula hubs, they don't give a bit more details what formula hubs are they, and I don't have a lot of experience with reliability of these hubs, so if anybody has any experience with formula hubs, please do let us know in the comments below. But generally speaking, both of these wheelsets are so close to each other. a little bit of advantage to the Trek just because of these DT Swiss hubs, which I believe are much better than the Formula hubs. Also, Cannondale didn't mention here what is the total weight of this carbon fiber wheelset, but I'm expecting very similar weight like the Bontrager wheelset on the Trek. Now we can talk about the group set on the bike, so the shifter, front mech and the rear mech. And I can kick off with the Trek Emonda. So shifters, front mech and the rear mech is a superb Shimano Ultegra Di2 electronic group set. So Shimano Ultegra Di2 R8050, superb electronic group set, best value for money on the market when it comes to electronic group sets. And also just to mention here that the rear mech on the Trek is a short cage, so just keep in mind that the maximum cassette you will be able to fit here is a 30-tooth cassette. Now let's check the Cannondale for the group set. So when we talk about the group set on the Cannondale, again, shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is Shimano Ultegra Di2 electronic group set, 11-speed group set, absolutely superb choice, and I don't have any complaints here. Interesting thing with Cannondale is that the rear mech on Cannondale is the longer cage mech, so here on the Cannondale you can fit even bigger cassettes like 1132 or for example 1134 cassettes. So both group sets on both bikes, superb Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set. Now let's talk about the crankset on the bike and the bottom bracket. So with the Trek Emonda, you're gonna get a superb Shimano Ultegra R8000 crankset. This is 5236 chain rings, and the bottom bracket is the T47 Praxis, which is a threaded bottom bracket. This is very interesting on the Trek that they went with this Praxis bottom bracket, and it's just gonna be easier for a bit of maintenance, and of course there shouldn't be any creaking noises here. Moving on to the Cannondale, you see on the Cannondale, the crankset is Cannondale's own hologram crankset, because again, Cannondale uses this BB30A press fit bottom bracket, and this hologram crankset is the 5236 crankset, and as I said, bottom bracket is the press fit BB30 standard. Keep in mind that this hologram crankset is a very similar thing to the Shimano Ultegra crankset. Maybe it would be even a little bit lighter or definitely on the same weight, so definitely no complaints here from me with both of these cranksets. Now when we talk about the cassette and the chain, so you see the Trek Emonda comes with the Shimano Ultegra cassette, 1130 cassette, and Shimano Ultegra chain, HG701 11-speed chain, superb choice and no complaints here from me. When we move to the Cannondale, Cannondale again has the Shimano's HG701 chain, which is a Shimano Ultegra level chain, and the cassette on the bike is the Shimano's Ultegra 1130 cassette. Absolutely superb choice in both cases. Again, no complaints here from me. Now let's talk about some of the smaller components on the bikes, for example, saddle and the seat post. So Trek comes with their own Bontrager Aeolus Comp saddle and Bontrager carbon seat mast cap. So this Bontrager Aeolus Comp saddle should be decent. I personally don't have any experience with these Bontrager saddles, but saddles are always a personal preference, and if you have your desired saddle, I mean, please do keep it as long as possible. And you see, Trek also comes with this very specific carbon seat mast. This is kind of a trademark of Trek Emonda bikes. I'm glad it's a carbon seat mast, 20mm offset, just because this carbon seat mast is going to soak up a bit more of the road bumps. Speaking about saddle and the seat post on the Cannondale bike, the saddle is Physique Tempo Arco R5, and the seat post is again carbon fiber hologram 27 SL carbon fiber seat post. There is a 15mm offset on the seat post, and this hologram seat post should be absolutely superb, and I believe that this seat post should soak up even more road bumps than the Trek seat mast cap. But all in all, both the saddles and the seat post, again, very good choices. I have no special complaints when it comes to these components. Now let's talk about the handlebar and the stem. So you see on the Trek, you are getting the Bontrager Pro carbon fiber handlebars, and this is paired with the Bontrager Pro aluminium stem. So these are two separate pieces, which is very good because then you can easily, swap in the future. You can easily fine-tune the position. And again, a very nice addition of the carbon fiber OCLV handlebars on the Trek bike. When we look at these same components on the Cannondale, so handlebars are again hologram save system, carbon fiber handlebars, and the stem is the aluminium stem, again hologram stem. This is basically Cannondale's own production. And the good thing here is, again, separate pieces, and these are more aerodynamically optimized on the Cannondale than on the Trek. And also keep in mind that handlebars on the Cannondale still have a bit of adjustment, 8 degrees basically pitch adjustment, which is again superb. As I say, you can finally tune your position. So in this case, I think that a bit of this more aerodynamically optimized handlebars, carbon fiber handlebars on the Cannondale, are just a little bit better than on the Trek bike. Now let's talk about the braking performance on these bikes. So Trek comes with Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes, superb choice. These are the Shimano's RT800 braking rotors, both front and back, Shimano's Ice Frieza technology, and these are 160mm braking rotors, front and back, so absolutely there is no cutting corners in the braking department. On the Cannondale SuperSix EVO, braking is again done by the Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes. These are 160mm braking rotors front and back, and again Shimano's RT800, superb braking performance, no complaints here. They are, absolutely the same with the Trek and the Cannondale. And now we can talk about the total bike weight. So Trek has given a total bike weight of 7.74 kilograms for size 56, which is a decent bike weight, competitive, nothing special I would say for this bike size. But unfortunately Cannondale hasn't given a total bike weight for their Cannondale SuperSix EVO. But I would guess that again it would come very, very close to this Trek bike weight of 7.7, 7.8 kilograms for size 56. So in this case, I totally consider this a tie when it comes to bike weights of these two bikes. So now in a summary, there's a big question: if it's my own money, which bike would I choose? And I have to say that in this case I would go with the Trek Emonda SL 7, and I have to be honest, the main reason why I would go with Trek Emonda SL 7 is that this carbon fiber wheel set from Bontrager is with the DT Swiss 350 hubs, and I just consider this superior hubs than the Formula hubs that are included on the Cannondale SuperSix EVO. But these bikes are so close to each other that, to be honest, whichever you choose, you definitely won't go wrong, and especially if you negotiate the bike price, be nice, negotiate nicely, drop this bike price for about 15%, you are getting a superb value for money. So I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, please do subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you're always notified when I make a new video. And as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Pura Vida!